Big smile. How you doing, Sarah?
Great, doing great today. My husband's birthday was yesterday, so it was a good day, long day for us, a long work day, but we celebrated last night, so
Oh,
it worked
good.
out. Yeah, I hope everybody's doing well.
Well, happy birthday to your husband then. That's
Thank
great.
you.
Yeah. Always good to have another birthday.
Yep. Yes, it is. It's a blessing to be older and
That's
to get
right.
get to turn older every year.
That's right. That's better than not. That's for sure.
Exactly.
Yep. Well, welcome everybody. Come on in. We'll get started in just a second here. Let me see. A lot of exciting things going on here. Let's see. What is today? Today's May 22nd. 2026, moving right along. Actually it's the 152nd day of the year, which is amazing. So anyway, I'm John Lee, St. Louis Real Estate Investors Association, and welcome you. Let's see. I'll go ahead and I guess, and we'll go ahead and do a couple of do some announcements. We do have some things coming up here. Of course, our Fridays are always 11 o'clock right here, our networking. And then we do also have special events now and then. I do want to make a correction. I said last week, I think maybe the week before, that our lunch at Applebee's was coming up on June 8th. It's actually June 1st. I was totally wrong on that. I don't know how I copied that wrong, but I did. But anyway, it's Applebee's June 1st, which is Monday, first Monday every month from 11 to 1. And that's at Olive and 270. It's 11950 Olive Boulevard, right at Olive and Highway 270. Then on June the 5th, which is a Friday, we're having an all day event. It's the pre-Missouri tax sale seminar. It's in the Realtor building over there off of Olive. We used to meet there years ago, and let's see, that's at number 12777 Olive Boulevard. And that'll be in the conference center, which is around back. So I'm going to put some I'll put our upcoming events. I have a thing we put it, and I'll put that in the chat so you can go check more of that stuff out. They are still working on the website, but it will be done soon. We're getting closer and closer. We do have the free membership part set up now too, so I'll put a link in the chat on that. So that's pretty exciting. We've already had a couple members, and I appreciate you guys already signing up early. I know some of you were more anticipating it more than I was, and I know it's been a long road to try to get some of that stuff done. Let's see, what else do we have? We're still working on our tax sale property expedition, we're calling it. We're looking at Saturday, June 6th, right after our pre-Missouri tax sale seminar, and we're going to go look at some of the properties that kind of we were going to do a bus tour, but I think what we're going to do probably is do more like a carpool. We're going to drive around and look at them so we can kind of it's going to be a little bit smaller event. We're going to get around and get out and look at them and just kind of discuss some of that stuff there. On June 11th, that's a Thursday, and this is going to be at 1:30 p.m. This is going to be a Zoom event. You want to make sure you mark your calendars for that. We've got a special guest actually, Norm Bennett. He's a remodeling expert and author. He just had a new book come out, and he's going to show us how we can. He's going to actually give us a checklist for acting as your own contractor when you do remodeling and some of the own stuff you do. He's done this for decades. He's really smart and really good at doing this. He's going to show us some things ways we can save some money, and even if it's worthwhile to do it yourself. Some of the stuff definitely is not worthwhile to do. I know I like to learn everything and not do everything. Then Scott Walterbach's event on June 26th, which is Friday, and that's an all-day event. This is his annual Missouri tax sale seminar. This is number 5 in Jackson, Missouri at the MU Extension. I'll have a link in there also on that. I know some of you guys are already signed up. This is a pretty high-level event. There'll be attorneys, there's collectors, and all kinds of government officials too that usually show up at his events. I'm actually working on getting one of the collectors to come in and talk to us here soon, and I'll let you know more about that because there's just a lot of stuff people don't understand with, especially with Missouri tax sales, because they're a little more complicated than some of them out there. But between the two events, the pre-tax Missouri tax sale seminar and the Missouri tax sale seminar, hopefully we'll shed a lot of light on some of that, and so we can understand a little bit more. Um, then I had just some other events in here, some previous replays, and I'll put that, like I said, in the chat there for you. And I think that's all I have for upcoming events. Yeah, so I guess we can go ahead and get started. Laura, you over there? We don't have virtual Laura this week. We've got live Laura. So we're happy to see that. So Laura, if you would like to give us our disclaimer, we can get started then.
I'll try it unmuted. How's that? Good morning and welcome, everyone. First, I'd like to do a bit of housekeeping. Feel free to unmute yourself when it's your turn to speak. Please be mindful of everyone else by muting yourself while others are speaking. You're welcome to put any contact information that you want to share into the chat. We meet here to share deals, look for deals and solutions we have in need with our real estate. We are not your financial advisors, attorney, or accountants. We do not endorse or recommend any specific solution or contractors here. You're advised to do your own due diligence to your own satisfaction before you invest. The first Friday of each month is Ask the Attorney with Ms. Catherine Davis. Our meetings are typically recorded, so only share what you want others to know.
Thank you, Laura. Appreciate that. Glad to have you back home too, by the way. So let's see, who would like to get us started today? See a lot of smiling faces, and I know there's some smiles behind some of the screens too. But let's see. Sarah, you're always smiling. You have anything you would like to share with us today?
Nothing hugely special or anything. I couldn't make it. I think it was last Friday. I think I had some sort of networking thing going on. Something I was going to kind of shout out was, our owner, Jim Subert of Pride Cleaning and Restoration. I know, John, you mentioned he has spoken on here before. So, whatever date is good for that, please just let me know. And I would love to have him on here some Friday to do that. And also, I always let real estate agents know that I partner with and do drop off visits with and things. If you guys ever want to do a lunch and learn with Jim, he loves doing those. So anybody that we could provide lunch for them, come in, talk about pride cleaning and restoration and all that jazz. Just shoot me an email. And also, like normal, I'm here for you guys to help you out if you need additional resources with any real estate agents, general contractors, plumbers, anybody in that world that you need, handyman. I know I've connected with several of you before, and just any resources that you guys need, any connections that you guys need, please let me know. And I'll put my contact information in the chat. And there's also a networking event that Jim owns Pride Cleaning and Restoration, but he and Susan also own Adventures of Intrigue. So it's that open concept escape room. It's off of South Jefferson, down the street from Johnny Brock's. And that networking event is the very first Wednesday of every single month from 4 to 7 p.m. So if you have any questions on that, like we have that networking event, it is free. And just come on out anytime. We would love to have you. We have food, we have plenty of fun things. But I'll put my contact info in the chat. If you guys need any resources, let me know. I love connecting people with flooring people too. I have a lot of people that we partner with flooring as well. But it's going to be Sarah Cantrell with Pride Cleaning and Restoration. And I give everybody my personal cell, 573 883 0637. And you can get with me on email, like my first name. My last name is Cantrell, so it's S Cantrell, SCANTRELL at priderestoration.com. And I'll put that in the chat too, friends. So yeah, if you guys ever need anything, just get with me. I would love to help you out and connect you with some new friends that you need in the field.
Well, thank you, Sarah. Yeah, we'd love to have Jim come on and what we need to schedule a time, then we could kind of let people know because he's a great speaker. He really is
He is.
well informed. I tell you, he really taught us a lot. The last time he spoke with us.
Yeah.
So
He
yeah,
knows what he's talking about. I tell you, he's been in business since 1987. It's a long time, friends, to be in business. And so, God bless him. He's a good speaker. He loves to do those lunch and learns and things. And anytime, any excuse to talk about pride, he's here. So
yeah, and plus it's a great service. It's something we hope we don't
it
need
is.
all the time, but when
Yes.
we need it, invaluable.
We say that all the time. We hope you guys don't need us, but if you do, we're here. So
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. So just, yeah, next time you talk to Jim, just mention it. Yeah, we'll get together. We'll set up something because I think that's very, I think it'd be a very special event and we'd love to
Yes.
have you guys.
John, will you put
Mhm.
your email in the chat for me again too? Because I
Yeah.
think I lost it. And I'll shoot you an email too, and I'll get with
Yeah.
Jim and see when he's available, like a Friday or something. And I can shoot you some Fridays that he's available and see if you guys are free. Thank you so much. And I'll put my
Yeah.
contact info in there right now too.
Yeah, that'd be great, Sarah. And yeah, I do have it also on that PDF I put in there of upcoming events. It's on the very bottom. I have my contact information in there
Okay.
also.
Is that your newsletter that you send out to
We
everybody?
don't have
Or
the newsletter right
or
now.
like a
We're kind of in between everything because they're redoing our website and all the whole structure. We're upgrading a lot of things, and it's taken a little bit longer than what we anticipated. Because if it was up to me, it would have been done, 3 weeks ago.
yeah,
But that's just the way it goes. So we appreciate everybody working with us on that too, and everybody's patience because it's
love
been
that.
kind of frustrating, trying to get everything done, but. It's just, websites are fun and they're not my specialty. We do have a guy that's great at it. We are not the biggest customer though either, on the other hand, and he's doing a lot for us because, we've restructured a lot of things with our upgrade, and he's actually saved us a lot of money because I don't know if you remember,
Good.
Tom Painter a few weeks ago was on here, and he just put 300,000 into his website, which I thought was kind of excessive amount until I started seeing what all goes into some of the back end of some of this stuff. So,
Yeah, when I owned my tutor doctor franchise, something I didn't think about that corporate did for us was have like an automatic chat bot. So it's like when people were on my website, like it was the middle of the night or whatever, they would get on my website and an automatic chat bot would answer them. And it was trained to answer any and all questions that we put in there. And I liked that. I thought that was a really good idea, but it's a new innovative idea that we don't think about, right? So um, that was something that corporate did for us with Tutor Doctor when we were running our business, and it was just helpful because speed to lead, right? So that's helpful to touch those clients before you can actually get to them in person. So um, there's lots of good ideas out there for websites and things.
yeah, there is. And with the AI, that helps us a lot, but a lot of it's confusing. I'll tell you,
Yeah,
it just
I
gets
agree.
really deep. So,
A lot of us didn't grow up with that, right? So like AI is like, okay, like I want to be on board with this, friends, but it's just really high tech and it is confusing. So I'm trying to like get with the times, but it's hard sometimes. So I get it.
yeah, we just do the best we can and we just keep
Yeah.
going along, but we still have to
Yep.
have our people that are, the best at what they do. I mean, because how's it go? You can do anything, but you can't do everything. So
Yeah.
it's best to pick out what you're good at or what you like
Yes.
and go with that.
Play to your strengths. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
And learn as much as you can every
yep,
day.
absolutely.
So
So,
true.
yeah, so that's all we can do, and we appreciate that. And yeah, I think let's see here. We got somebody wanted to know the exact address for the networking. I guess we can work back. We got a couple of chats here. Do you have an address for that networking event you were
Let
talking
me
about?
look up the actual address, friends. I forget the actual address. Let me just look it up really quickly.
Okay. All right.
It is 2400 South Jefferson Avenue. And so that's going to be in the Soulard area.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Okay.
um it's right there on the same side as Johnny Brock's. Like you'll get off the highway, you'll make that turn by Johnny Brock's, and then it'll be on that same side as Johnny Brock's, like 2, 3 blocks away or something. So yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
And what was that time and date again, if you don't mind repeating
It's going
that?
to be the first Wednesday of every single month, the
Okay.
first Wednesday of the month, and it's going to be 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And you can kind of come and go as you please. If you want to get there at 4, 4:30, 5 o'clock, it ends at 7. So just come and go whenever. I actually have another networking event at 6 o'clock that exact same night. So typically I'll get there a little bit before 4. I'll stay till about 5, and then it takes me about an hour to get to my other Hillsborough networking event, 6 to 7:30. So I'm a busy beaver that night. So it's just craziness. But yes, it's going to be 2400 South Jefferson Avenue for Adventures of Intrigue, first Wednesday of the month, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. So, but yeah, if you guys have any questions, I'll put my contact info in there here shortly. And then a lot of you guys still have my personal cell. Just text me or call me anytime you need me or shoot me an email. And if you guys need additional networking events too, let me know. I have a Word document with about 10 to 12 of those, and I can shoot those over to you as well. There are several I go to monthly and weekly and stuff.
Yeah, those are great. If you want to share those, that's great because we can. You never know who you're going to run into, and it only takes one person to change
Yeah.
everything, which we
Yeah.
all kind of know.
Exactly, exactly. That's so true. You meet so many amazing people,
Mhm.
and just because you decided to go to an event that night or whatever. So, yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
They're
Thank.
just James, they're just regular networking events from basically all the fields and backgrounds and stuff typically. Yeah. Yeah.
Sarah just knows everybody, and she's a great networker. So she's
I I
very
try,
valuable.
friends. I try to be that connector, connector, connecting people. I feel like if I know somebody who needs connected with this person, they don't know each other, I like to do that for them. So, but yeah, just let me know what you guys need help with.
Well, thank you, Sarah. And actually, that's why we're here because we just meet to share stuff every week, and that's what we've done, and we continue to do that. So appreciate that.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, Missy put the address in there. Thank you very much. Let's see. And there's okay. Greg, yeah, welcome, Greg. We haven't seen Greg in a while. I talked to him the other day. He's from Poplar Bluff. Good to see you back with us here again. And he's a busy guy down there. James Hampton, first meeting, welcome. Good to see you here, and we're happy to have you. Let's see here. We did get, like I said, we've been working on the website and we do have the free membership part set up now. So there's a link right there. I want to encourage you guys to go ahead and sign up for the free membership. That'll just get you on the list to make sure you don't miss anything as far as upcoming events and things like that. We do have, like we talked about it, an upgrade to an insiders section of it, and we're still working on that. A lot of this stuff, like I said, and we kind of talked about this, takes a little time to get it all done. But anyway, so we appreciate everybody's patience, and we're working on all that. Let's
Yeah, it
see.
looks like he does have the insiders set up where you can pay,
Oh,
although the resources aren't all in there yet. So I don't know if you want to just
yeah,
be a free member until all that's available.
yeah, we're working on the wealth library and the other things we kind of talked
Right.
about. So we got some pretty deep stuff, some pretty high level stuff. And that's what we're going to focus on coming up. As you know, we're not meeting every month like we did in the past. It's going to be more like quarterly, but it's going to be a lot deeper subjects and a lot, I don't want to say really higher level, but it really is a little bit deeper for the subjects we're going to cover.
Mm.
So, all right. Let's see. Anybody else got anything they'd like to share with us right now? Anybody working on anything? Got Sarah up there with all the referrals ready to go.
Hey, John, I was just gonna kind of piggyback on the website conversation that you guys were just talking about.
Sure, Ryan.
So I started messing around with it's an AI website builder. It's called Lovable, and it's LOVABLE.dev. And it's pretty slick. You can just kind of tell it what you want it to, what the website is, and if you have a website, you can kind of point to your current one and say, hey, look at the current website that I've got going on. and make me one that looks better. And, or you can, reference different websites out there that you like and say, hey, I kind of like the look of this one. So anyway, anybody that's looking into website design, I encourage you to take a look at that. It's free. You get a certain amount of changes for free every month or something like that, or maybe it's every day. I think I upgraded to the like pro version, and it's like $25 a month. And it hosts it all and all that stuff. So anyway, if anybody has any questions about it or has problems with it, feel free to reach out. I can put my name in the an email address in the chat here.
All right. Well, thank you, Ryan. Appreciate
Yeah.
that. I know that's something we work on from time to time. And all right. All right. Who else we got here that wants to share something with us? Anybody got anything to sell? I know Missy, I see you were up there somewhere. Do you had some are you still there? I can't. Oh, there you are. Do you still have a property for sale? I know we missed you last week. David said he had you out there pounding the pavement, getting some stuff done.
Yeah, Dave keeps me busy.
Yeah.
So I do have some stuff for sale. I have one over in San John's area, at 3271 Marshall Avenue. That one's being sold as is. It's 145,000 on the list price right now. And then I have one over on Gardo Court. It's in Bell Fountain area. We have it listed at 110,000.
Okay. Well, the one on Marshall, how much was that one again? 145?
Yes, 145,000.
Oh, okay. All right. And that one there, you said it's as is. What kind of work does it need?
It failed inspection, so there's some documents that are attached there. So
Okay. And if somebody wanted to know more about that, how would we get a hold of you, Missy?
yeah, so they could reach me with my email at missy@sotops.com,
Okay.
or they can call our office number at 573-332-7686, extension 306.
All right. All right. And if you don't mind putting that in the chat, that'd be great too.
Absolutely. Thanks, John.
Thank you, Missy.
You're welcome.
And do you want to talk about your property management while
Yeah,
got you here?
Yeah. So we also do property management. We have a technician that can go in and he meets all of our inspectors, and then he can also work on your properties as well. And then we do everything from putting the tenants in place, and I come in and I help meet the tenants and do the leasing side. And we have some really good girls in the office that help do the background screening and everything, because AI is really playing a big part in fake paycheck stubs and different things. And our girls are really good at spotting those out and being able to make sure that everything's good. So we do from the start of it to the end of it, and we do lease renewals. So if anyone wants any more information, they can happily reach out to my email as well, and I'll put that in the chat.
Thank you, Missy. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Very nice. Couple opportunities for someone. And also, if you're tired of the thrill of doing the property management yourself, Missy and Dave, they're good guys to get a hold of because they know what they're doing. Done it for a long time. They have a lot of clients in our area. In fact, the whole eastern part of Missouri, pretty much. So we appreciate you guys.
Hey, John.
Yes.
Hey, my wife and I are new to the group, and I appreciate the invite and looking forward to networking. We have joined other groups, but not this one yet. Been investing for about 10 years. And in addition to the investing side, we're moving over into a little bit of the private lending side. So if anybody needs some hard money, we're doing that as well.
Great. Okay. What areas are you in, Matt?
St. Louis, any of the county, or South City, anything like that.
Okay. All right. And you said you do some hard money lending.
Yeah, we have some funds ready to deploy.
Okay. And what kind of criteria are you looking for as far as as far as borrowers?
Um, we're the standard, as everybody else is. Probably avoid the full gut, but anything other than that, we'll be willing to look at for sure.
Okay, and you go by the value of the property, I'm assuming?
Yeah, 75% of the ARV
75.
is typical. Yeah.
Okay, very good. And what's the best way to get a hold of you, Matt? If you don't mind sharing your contact information
Yeah.
and
Let me
verbally?
throw it. Let me throw it in the chat, and maybe that'll be easier.
Okay, but also if you don't mind saying it verbally too
Oh,
for
yeah,
anybody
yeah.
watching the replay.
Yeah. Oh, I got you. My number is 314-707-9959.
959. Okay.
And the email is 55 plus, the word plus, properties1 @gmail.com.
Properties, is that number one or written out?
It is the number one.
These one at Gmail. Okay, yeah. And if you don't mind putting that in the chat, that'd be great also.
You got it. Thanks, John.
Thank you, Matt. Yeah, and people are always looking for funds. You never know who's going to show up looking for money every week. So it is something you could just, even watching the replays.
Yeah, we certainly needed it, so I'm sure somebody else does.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can never have enough money. The hardest part's finding the deals. And at least that's my experience with them also. Very good. Thank you very much, Matt.
You're welcome.
All right. Let's see. Miss anything? Okay, who else has something for us today? You, Linda, you putting your hand up. What? I'm not used to that. You can just unmute yourself.
Thank you. Thank you, John. One of the things I love about this group is the networking. And I wanted to say thank you to Sarah. A few weeks ago, I asked for a floor remover. You gave me a referral. He said he couldn't do it, but he gave me to someone who could. I don't know if you know him, Kevin Holt. And Kevin removed the kitchen floor last week, did a great job. I thought gave me a great price. Great person. And he is going to refinish my hardwood floors for me. So thank you so much. I
Good.
appreciate
You're
it.
welcome, Yolanda. So happy to help.
Thank
I'm glad
you.
it worked out.
It did. It really
Yeah.
did.
Good,
He
good.
even sat down when he was done and chatted for a while. He's a great guy, Kevin.
I've
I
heard of
highly
Kevin
recommend.
Holt. I must have met him along the way or something. So that's very cool that he
Yeah,
was able to
he
help.
says he's been in the business for like 38 years in the flooring business. Yeah.
Wow. He's a
Yeah.
good guy to know then, I bet.
Yeah, he
I'm
is a
glad
very
that
good
Ryan was
guy.
able to refer that out.
Thank
We do
you.
that too. We'll refer other people. If we can't do it, we know other people who can, you know.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
appreciate it.
Of course.
Very nice. Yeah. And maybe we can get you to help us with our resource guide when we get that up on the website, Sarah.
Anytime, seriously, because I keep everything in my Excel spreadsheet, so I have a wide variety of people that I do one-to-ones with. I do drop-off visits for things like that, so I keep them all in my Excel. So yeah, anybody in any field, I probably know somebody, and I can definitely help you with that, John.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be great. Yeah, we started that a
absolutely.
while back, and then when everything kind of changed with what we were doing, we kind of put it on hold. And
Yeah.
I've got this big, huge file right now with all our stuff in there. And I know a lot of times what we're going to do too is we kind of want to vet people a little bit too. We're going to put it in there kind of like we talked about, and then we'll have it to where it's not really available to the public, but just kind of to the insiders and to us right here. So that's kind
Yeah.
of how we're doing that.
And I will put Ryan Morris's number in the chat. I'm seeing a lot of people asking for that and his email. I'm gonna get in my business cell phone right now, and I'll do that for you guys. I'll put that in there. And if you put your email in the chat, I will send you guys those networking events as well sometime soon.
Very
So
good.
I'll do that for you guys. You got it.
Thank you so much, Sarah. We appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. No
That's
problem.
very
I'm
nice.
so happy to help.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and the floor guy. I see Michelle's looking for a floor guy too, and John Collins. Yeah. Yeah, we could always use floors, that's for sure. We all walk on them. Very nice. Thank you so much. All right, who else has something to share with us today here?
Christy.
Christy.
Yes,
Yes.
John, I wanted to know, I've been studying the commercial wholesaling. So do you know anything about that? If so, if you can do a like one of those little classes or mini class, whatever you want to call it, on that, and contracts. That's where I'm kind of like at, like, because I know it's like two pieces that goes with that. They're not really considered, not considered, but focused on like what the residential, they are on NOI. So
Mhm.
if you can give me like enlighten me or expand on that, so
Yeah,
not
you're
used to
talking
speaking
about
on.
commercial. That's you can wholesale
Yes,
anything. We did a thing not too
right.
long ago on wholesaling. And wholesaling, all it is just getting a contract with somebody, basically, or an agreement, and then assigning it to
Hmm.
somebody else for a fee. Now, as
Right.
commercial, it depends on really what you're looking at, Christy. That covers a
Exactly.
wide variety of stuff. Um, I mean, we're going to talk about contracts on and some details on some of the stuff that we personally do on Friday, June the 5th. We're going to get into a
Okay.
lot of details on contracts and things like that. In the Wealth Library, we did a thing on it's not really on commercial. We did one on residential and just things like that not too long ago. That's going to go in the
Mhm.
Wealth Library as soon as he gets that part done. It should probably this week is what it looks like. There's a lot more
Okay.
moving parts to it. So, but if does anybody else have anything they'd like to share with Christy here on commercial? I know we'll have some more stuff. They will talk a little bit about at the Missouri Tax Sale Seminar too. He last year they got into a little bit of commercial. That's a little.
Mhm.
They don't come up a lot at the tax sales, but they do. I personally bought some properties not I don't know a few years back on actually it was down in Farmington for after the tax sale because as a lot of you guys know I don't buy stuff at the tax sale, but I buy stuff over the counter and deal with the delinquent taxpayers. And I actually
Mhm.
bought some property that was worth, I only paid a couple $1,000s for it, but it was like a beauty salon and it was a produce thing and a couple other things that I was
Mhm.
really even surprised it went after 5 years of back taxes, which came up to the third year tax sale. And I bought those as soon as the first day it came out. And it was kind
Wow.
of funny. I didn't know it at the time. I just went by the property, but at the time, there was a big mortgage on the property, but it was with my own personal bank. And when the vice president of the bank actually called me, and they ended up buying the property from me, and I wouldn't normally have not sold it back to him, my lien on it, but I did because I at the time had like 12 loans with the bank, and I didn't want them to call any of them, okay? Because they could have done that, but we were kind of buddies anyway. So they gave me like $10,000 plus what I paid for them, and I just went ahead and called it a day just to keep just to be nice to everybody involved because relationship capital is way more important than money most of the time. And that's what I found out. But commercial things, they're a little different, but you can you could do stuff, make money on any of them, and you can also pass on good deals to everybody. Because one of the things you can do if you get the right thing, and you might have seen this, a lot of the times the people they'll have like a shared space because you'll have if you have a big enough area, and you'll see some of this too. We actually looked at doing an event at one not too long ago, but it just didn't work out. But there's a place where they'll have like shared space where you all share a conference room, and you can kind of sign up for that. But then it has a space for like kitchen areas and stuff, and you'll have a little bitty office where you can meet people. Because a lot of times, contractors, especially, and people that are in business, small business especially, even especially people working out of their home, they might want just a little office to meet people sometimes, and have an actual address, a business address. So that's a great way to get out and do some of that kind of stuff. I know we looked at it in some smaller places. Laura and I went to North Carolina a couple of years ago and talked to a guy about a bookstore at the time, and they were looking at open up bookstores across the country. It's a longer story than I'll get into right now, but there's so many. If you just look at all these strip centers around that are empty, and people, if you could get the right things set up on them, you could actually, now it takes management. You'll have to be, and that's something you might want to look into, Christy, but it takes people to put the deal together because putting the deals together, in my opinion, that's where everything kind of revolves around that because most people aren't good at finding deals or putting them together. I shouldn't say most people, but a lot of people aren't. And there's a lot of money out there for the right deals. But if you could get together a spot like that on commercial, and again, the tax sales are coming up, and they come up just as not maybe not as much as residential, but you'll have some every time like that, and you can kind of put together some stuff if it makes sense for the right for the right situation. But people like roofers, and there's all kinds of people, they'll pay you $200, $300, $400 a month to have a nice spot to keep a desk and some of their stuff and to meet clients sometimes and have an actual address. So that's something you may want to look into. And then, we'll be talking more about that too. That's a little bit different than a lot of the residential stuff we talk about, but I think commercial is just a lot of people leave that on the sidelines when they see some of that stuff, and I think that's a really good subject to talk about. So, thanks for bringing that up, Christy.
You're welcome.
Anybody else have anything they want to say on that? No? Feel free if you do. All right, let's see here. Okay, Matt, you got okay, John, let's see, did I miss anything else? Flooring guy's number. Michelle, yeah, good to see you back. John, Matt, you got your information in there. And then Sarah, okay, you got the carpet guy. I guess he's the flooring guy in there. So thank you very much. Appreciate that. Okay. All right, who else has something for us here? A lot of good conversations. You never know where we're heading with these conversations here. We kind of go all over the place sometimes. All
Hi,
good.
John. Hi,
Yes.
John. Hi, everyone. I was wondering, I had got kicked out when the guy was talking about the AI startup site. And I can't see it in the chat because again, I got kicked out and had to come back in. Is he still available? And if so, can you please put that info back in the chat?
Are you talking about
It was
see.
lovable. It was like lovable something.
Oh, okay. You're talking about Ryan there.
Yeah, lovable.dev for development.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, I'll put it back in there.
Thank you. I'm sorry you got kicked out, Nicole. It wasn't me. I'd never kick you out.
I'm on my phone and I accidentally did it myself.
All right. Well, glad you made it back.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you never know, man. Tablets, cell phones, they all work different, and you never know what's going to happen I know driving around, that's when I usually hit stuff the wrong way. So, all right.
Hey, can anybody hear me?
Barely.
Greg, yeah.
You can hear me?
Yeah, a little bit. You're kind of dim, but we can hear you.
Okay, well, I want to say hello to everyone. Thank you for letting me here, and thank you, John. I'm on an old desktop here, and to be honest with you, folks, this is the first Zoom meeting I've ever been to, so I'm thrilled to be here, and I'm glad that you can make it all work. I was going to get a different laptop, but it didn't make it. So one thing that I wanted to mention, and this actually was born out of the St. Louis area. I have rental properties, and we came up with a consent judgment form that saves us from having to go to court. And didn't know if anybody here had any experience with that or any input on it.
No, can you tell us a little bit about that, Greg?
Yes. As well know, whenever you first rent to someone, they're excited, you're excited, and everybody's friends. Well, as time goes on and something happens or goes bad, generally they're either tearing the place up or not paying you. And what we have discovered was, while we're still working with someone, trying to help them, they're willing to agree that, okay, look, I haven't paid you, I know that, or I owe you for this window or whatever. And what we have found was that during that period, they're willing to agree to a consent judgment. And our local court system, after 5 years, finally agreed to the paper we have. Basically, John Q. Tennant agrees that he owes Greg this much money. We write it all out. We go before a notary public. Notary public does their thing. I take it to the courthouse, pay my rent and possession fee of $48.50. They file it. The tenant doesn't have to go to court. I don't have to go to court. and I get a judgment that's just as good as if I did. So
Very interesting.
Used it several times and it's worked really good. The St. Louis County or somebody actually has the one we designed it off of.
Wow. Well, that's, Greg, that sounds like a subject we could get into. Maybe we should have a special event and have you just come talk about it, set that up, because I'd like to hear way more about that because, yeah, that's something you touched on so many good points. The one thing is you're talking about getting it signed when they move in, because I know people sign everything when they move in. They won't sign anything after the fact if anything goes wrong. So that's some really good stuff to know, and you get it notarized up front. I know we do a lot of that stuff with some of the stuff we do because of those reasons right there. So if you wouldn't be opposed to it, maybe you could come and we could set something up. You could tell us a little bit more about that, Greg.
I'd be happy to help. We don't exactly have them sign it when they first move in. We have them sign it when there's we try to do it when there's the first signs of trouble or they're starting to get late because we're still mom and pop and don't have all the automatic stuff where it's dungeon, text you, what have you. So we just, make one-to-one communication. Say, look, we're trying to help you here. You've agreed to our contract. You're not upholding it. You're asking me to trust you because you're promising to pay me in the future when you should have already got it paid. So if that's the case, I'm going to ask you to trust me. And you're going to sign this and we're going to sign it together. And if you do what you're supposed to do, this will go away and I don't have to act upon it. But, and I found very good reception if you do this early.
Wow, I'd love to hear more of your process too. But yeah, if you would mind, excuse me, sharing that with us at some point, if you're open to that, Greg, we could set something up. That'd be wonderful, I think, for all of us.
I'd be happy to.
Appreciate that. Wow. And Greg, he's quite a guy, very knowledgeable. I know we've known you for a while. You're down in Poplar Bluff area, and you've got some rental properties, and you say you're mom and pop, but I know you've owned a hardware store for many years. I think you said you just might have sold that recently, but I remember one of the things you showed us many years ago was for your vacant homes. You showed us this alarm that you made up and you put on like the garage and or at least out front, and when anybody walks with through the sensor, it would turn the light and turn the alarm on. And I remember how loud that was, and just about everybody in the place jumped on that. And I thought that was such a great invention. So you're an inventor too, I might add.
Well, I appreciate that, and just kind of redneck alarm system, but it did work well. And but we actually have graduated from that. I'm sure everybody here, I hope you haven't, but I'm sure you've had experience with the people breaking in and tearing out your wiring and also taking your air conditioner condensers. And we actually came up with a system. We're using the Simply Safe alarm system, which you can get on eBay, 2-year warranty, refurbished for $50. We're for 6 pieces. I think you get the base unit, the keypad, a key fob, 2 entry sensors, and a motion sensor for $50. Now that's actually directly from Simply Safe, and it's got a 2-year warranty. But anyway, long story short, we modified one of the door sensors so that we can protect the air conditioner condensers, and that has saved our bacon several times now.
Wow.
It's really cool because the short version is you take a thermostat wire and wrap it around the supply lines, the copper lines going to the condenser, and then we take that same wire and wrap it around the unit and weave it in and out of the shields so that you have to cut this wire if you're going to move this unit. And as soon as you cut that wire, baby, we get a call from Simply Safe in less than 60 seconds. So it has really been cool.
Wow, that's something that could really help a lot of us because I know we've had a lot of things like that. As you say, the empty houses, they're just they become a target. Even and it doesn't really matter what neighborhood you're in. There's a lot of the good neighborhoods we've had stuff stolen out of, and so maybe we could do another thing with that, Greg, because I think we'd have a lot of interest in that too. I just remember how impressive that was, that alarm you made a few years ago. That still really sticks in my mind. It's something we could all use. So we appreciate you bringing that up, Greg.
Well, I appreciate that and be happy to share it with y'all anytime.
Yeah, let's talk, and we'll set up a couple of things because I know you could bring a lot of value, which you always have, but you always do, and a lot of people just you could save a lot of us a lot of money and a lot of time too by doing that. So we appreciate that. Glad this is your first Zoom. What a great one.
Well, thank you for it. And I was afraid that you wouldn't be able to hear me or mess it up, but it's actually a lot simpler than I was expecting.
Yeah. Well, thank you for showing up, and we appreciate that, Greg. All right. Let's see. Did I miss anything? I think we got everything up to date. Anybody else got anything they'd like to share? I'll go ahead and put the membership, which we do have set up now, the free membership. If you're not a member, I know a lot of you guys already have signed up. Let's go ahead and get you there. And then the other, I'll go ahead and put the upcoming events in here to the little flyer that we have here. That will be all on the website soon, just as soon as Patrick gets everything done for us. So in the meantime, you can always get a hold of me. Or you can go to the website, you can leave a message. There's all kinds of ways you can get a hold of us. Every Friday, as you know, we're right here. So
Yeah, we were thinking they could just kind of change, excuse me, the website, but the old website was so old that they actually had to rebuild it. So that's why it's taking longer than what we anticipated. So
yeah, rather than do a new one, it was way better because just for several reasons. That's why it was done. So thank you. All right. Who else
That
has something today?
that
Yes.
second thing is saying that it can't be viewed. Don't know why it's saying that.
PDF can't?
That's what it's saying. On my
Anybody else?
end. Yeah.
Hmm.
I got the free membership thing showed up, but then it says this other content can't be viewed here. So don't know why.
Okay, anybody else can get that? Nobody can open that? That's weird. Huh. Okay. Well,
The PDF.
I'll email it to you,
You
Christy.
talking about the
Okay.
PDF that just showed
Yeah.
up?
I opened it.
You
I
opened
clicked
it?
on it and it wanted me to save it, so I just saved it on my desktop, and then I think I can open it. On my
Is it because I may be on the phone?
If you
Yeah.
mean the upcoming events, I was able to open it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah,
Mm,
it might be your phone. I don't know, Christy.
okay.
I can send it to you.
Okay.
Be happy to do that.
Thank you.
Anybody else too, if you want to, if you can't open it for some reason. I know the phone and the tablets and everything, they all work a little differently. And I tried to make that for electronic viewing, so you should be able to get it, but things don't always work, and I'm not a technician, so that's not
Right.
what I do.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see.
John,
Yes.
excuse me. Are you aware that when you click on that, let me see, wait, let me go back. You click on the update to insider access, it says it's $97 a month. Is
Not a
that
month.
correct? Yeah,
That's a year.
right. It says a month.
Okay.
oh,
But then
nice.
when you scroll down, it says year.
Okay. Thank you.
But when
That's
you click
yeah.
on
Let me
that,
make a note of that. Thank you.
Oops.
That's the okay, month. No, quite a bit difference. Thank you, Yolinda. Yeah, like I said, it's still under construction. It's been a long way. We still have a little ways to go, but we appreciate that. If you see anything else too, please let me know about that, and we'll deal with it as it comes up.
okay.
Thank you, Yolinda. All right. All right. Who else has something for us today?
Hey, John, this is Dave.
Yeah, Dave.
You sent out an email a while ago about the the bill for the wholesalers. that failed.
Yes.
There
The
was
other one
there,
you're talking about.
what's that?
Are you going to talk about the other one?
Yeah, there's a Senate bill that did pass.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have more on that. That's number, what is it, 987 or something like that, or I don't remember, something like
973.
973, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, I did notice that actually the next day after we sent the one. So it's basically, it looks like some of the same wording. And what it is, it's a disclosure. We talked about that not too long ago, and it's not a big deal other than what it does, as far as I could tell, Dave, it hurts the people that need to sell fast. Because as far as most people don't really have a big problem with wholesalers most of the time. And it's a disclosure where you have to have 14 days before you actually do the contract, the actual wholesaling contract before it goes into effect. And I haven't read this one all the way through, which I will. I do have it right here in front of me though. And yeah, I appreciate you bringing it up. Unless you do you know something you'd like to tell us about it, Dave?
No, I really don't. But I just want to give you a little heads up on what I've seen because this happened twice. Actually, we just closed on a sale that we got into because they had gone through a wholesaler at first, and two instances where the seller was uneducated and had no idea that they were dealing with a wholesaler, did not read the part of the contract which says if the wholesaler can't find a buyer, they're out of the contract. And so
Mm,
that's where that came from is those types of situations.
sure. Yeah, there's most wholesalers I want to say are pretty good people, but there are a few bad apples, and that's one reason they come up with stuff like this because you just got to do it. I've seen people string people along just like you say, and then they have a problem down the road.
Right.
One thing I always have done is just explain to them very well. I've never backed out of a wholesale deal because I wouldn't enter into a contract if I wasn't pretty sure I could do it. But you do got to tell people, one of the problems I've seen in the past too is they say, you have in there, it's either me and or assigns when you assign the contract to somebody else. People don't always disclose that. And you got to be, in my experience anyway, you want to be careful with that too. And one of the things we always did say is just, it's either me or one of my partners is going to bring the money, and you don't care who brings the money. And I've never had anybody care who brought the money, but you got to be very close on your disclosures and how you tell people that stuff. But the other thing is like with the 14 days, that they're talking about as far as before you can enter into the contract, you tell them you're not representing the people because you're not, you're representing yourself the whole way. That's why wholesaling works. But you got to be really careful on how you tell people stuff. And because there are some misunderstandings. I noticed we got into some of that with the subject twos where you take over mortgages for other people. And down the road, the wholesaler thinks he's out of it, but he's really still in the loop if he wholesales that off to somebody else and they quit making payments down the road. So real good stuff to know. And yeah, as soon as I have a little bit more, as soon as I have a chance to read through it, I'll be sending out some more information on there. But I appreciate you bringing that up, Dave,
Yeah.
because there's a
And
lot of stuff changing.
there's multiple parts of the bill. One that is land banks, and Missouri Realtors pushed hard for this land banks to get passed. It passed before, but because of language or whatever, it got rejected. So that's a good part of it. Another one that I didn't even realize it was in here, I just had to do with sale leasebacks, and I'm not sure exactly sure what the issue is with sale leasebacks, but there's Missouri Residential Sale Leaseback Protection Act is what it's called. So
Yeah, what that actually is, and I think it's a bad idea. I've seen people do it. It rarely works real well, but you'll buy the property and then lease it back to the person that was not making the payments. Okay, on it. I mean, that's why it's a bad idea because I've just seen a lot of a lot of things, kind of horror situations actually, because the people then they might do good for a month or two and then they stop paying again. Usually, here's what happens in my experience anyway. A lot of people, when things go wrong, they just continue to go wrong. And we all have seems like a major life situation every 5 to 7 years. That's just the stats in our country. That's when things change, whether it's a job change or a relocation or a divorce or a death or whatever. There's a lot of different things like that. And a lot of people will, they'll get divorced and then they'll want to lease the property back. But leasing the property back, and that's just really not a good idea in my opinion, because I've seen a lot of bad things happen with that. But that's the wording, and I don't know how many other people has had problems with that, but that's what it sounds like. And I seen that in the first one they had that SB 1001. It was the same way. I think the wording was similar, and like I said, I haven't read this one yet, and I will. I just seen that, and we'll find out more about that. I know with the land banks and some of that kind of stuff, though. See, that's the whole thing. I don't know how many pages this one was. The last one was like 90 something pages, and they didn't even get to the wholesaling stuff till like page 80 something, so it was way back in there. But the land banks, I know Dale Sweet, who he's gonna, he'll be Attorney Dale Sweet. He's the specialist we have, or expert really, in St. Louis City and St. Louis County. He'll be talking on June 5th. He's coming in the afternoon. He's going to talk a lot about that kind of stuff. He'll also be at Scott's event down in Jackson on the 26th of June. He'll be talking about, he does a lot of quiet titles and things like that. And a lot of that stuff comes with the land banks. Now they have a little different setup because they will clear a lot of parts on your title, but a lot of people think they're getting a clear title when they buy stuff at tax sales and some of this other stuff. It's not necessarily the case. So there's a lot more to it. I appreciate you bringing that up, Dave, and we'll be sorting through some of these details coming up here too. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on in our area. We're usually one of the last ones in the country to get some of this stuff, but I don't think we are this time. We're about in the middle of it. So I know they passed a lot of those rules in Ohio and some other places in the last couple of years. So it's just best to be up on it, and know what's going on, because you want to be on the right side, but you want to do things the right way too. So thank you, Dave.
John, do you have the upcoming event? Does that have the Jackson and the tax sale stuff you're talking about in it?
Yes, it does.
Okay, thanks.
Yes.
Yeah,
if for some reason you can't find it, let me know. And Scott's website, it's pretty easy one to do. Went ahead and I talked to him yesterday, and I put in here's what a lot of people, Scott's, if you go and sign up on his website, he may not get back to you. The gal he was doing this, she may not get back to you, from what he said, for weeks or even a month sometimes. So what we did, and a lot of people want to make sure they could get a spot. So I went ahead and created like a payment link, and we will get the information and get it over to him to make sure that you get in there too, because his website's mtss.llc. Okay, is his website, and I have that in that PDF also. But we also have a payment link in case you want to guarantee that your spot there, and then I will forward that over to him to make sure you get in there. Just because I had a few people saying they tried to sign up and didn't hear back from them, and they were getting a little concerned, because you want to make sure you get a spot there, because that's a good thing to know. So yeah, Greg, if you don't find it for some reason, let me know, and I'll get that to you.
Yeah, he had it set up where you had to mail him a check. Or she was doing like a link for each person.
It was a slow process, and they, for whatever reason, they didn't want to change, and it's okay. But we agreed on us setting up a link just so you could at least get your place guaranteed. So that's why
And
we
you can
did
pay right online, yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Laura. Yeah. Yeah, it's still it's only $75 for the whole day. If you're an attorney, I believe it's $150, but you do get continuing law education credits for that. If you're a government employee, there's no cost for that. So that's why we do have collectors and public, a lot of public people and government officials that they do show up. So, I mean, it's good. I like sitting there and just kind of talking to them. I mean, during some of the breaks and stuff, I found some stuff out a couple of years ago from the collector in Benton County. I did not know. And I dealt with a lot of over-the-counter properties over the years out in Benton County. Actually, last time I looked, over 1,800 of the little bitty lots there that we did personally. And there were some things about one neighborhood I did not know that just by sitting there and talking to him during lunch, actually, I found out a lot of stuff about the county that because, there's 114 counties in Missouri, not counting Kansas City and St. Louis City, and then county. They all kind of go to the beat of their own drummer, I want to say, even though they all go underneath, the state laws as far as the tax sales goes, but then they take it down another notch. And some of the counties, about half of them probably sell over the counter, which means if they did not sell after the last tax sale, which is 5 years of back taxes, which is the third year tax sale, then they can go ahead and sell them over the counter. And that's what I've done a lot of it, even by not knowing over the years what I was doing until I did them, and then I found out details later. That's what's nice about what we have coming up. If you really want to know on how this stuff works with our pre-Missouri tax sale seminar that we're doing on Friday, June the 5th, and then also the one that Scott does, which is another higher level there. And they do have this year, he's got some people from South Carolina and some other national people coming in, to talk about some other things. So it's good to know what you don't know. At least that's what I like to find out, because you don't want to just go to a tax sale and buy something and then find out everything else, because there are procedures and things you have to deal with. It's another reason we are glad to have Dale coming in too, to talk to us on Friday, on both the Fridays actually, because he does stuff locally and he can tell you what happens. I don't know, I haven't personally done it, but I have with my attorney. We've done probably, I don't know, 100 or more, a couple hundred maybe quiet titles over the years, and that's a whole process. You got to know the redemption periods. You need to know the disclosures when you send those out. You don't want to miss these deadlines, because if you do, then you'll have a lot of other problems, and that's why we want to be with the people that actually know this stuff. So hopefully that helped.
I want to let you know, Linda, that I emailed the webmaster and he fixed that, so it's all fixed now. It says per year.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay.
Hey, John, I'm sorry. I just
Yeah.
have one more question. I know you had spoke about doing like a deal evaluation, and
Hmm.
I was just trying to throw out, if I could, for a quick second about how I do it. So,
Mhm.
like, if I get a deal on a property, the first thing I do is like go on Zillow or one of those sites, and I look at try to find like the history of the property and see like what it sold for last time, or the last sale of the property. And so someone to send me a deal and say, okay, 90,000 for this property. I go and I look and say, hey, this was sold last month or 6 months, a year ago for, let's say, half that price. What justifies the increase in the price as far as like remodeling, rehabbing, and things of that nature? Is that a good way to go about it? And, then I might go on the, assessor's website, see if I can find all of that stuff. Is that usually what you do when you're evaluating in the beginning?
Boy, that's a good open question there, Nicole. Yeah, that's a great way what you've done. That's a great way to get started. And on the I know on the county website, they'll show you if it's updated, but they'll show you a lot of the stuff you can look at in the neighborhood in the last 6 months. You kind of got to take into consideration though the way the appraisers do it, which is within 200 square foot. So it's got to be like kind also, which is if it's brick or frame. You also can't go with it, more than 2 miles and not cross a major road and all that kind of stuff. Then I'm actually gonna get down. We're gonna do some kind of get down to the nuts and bolts of the way I do a lot of the stuff too, coming up on the Friday, because I do stuff a little bit differently than everybody else. And we're gonna do a whole session on values, how to create values. Okay, because a lot of the values, and we don't really have time to get into a lot of this today, and I could talk on this all day, but a lot of them are perceived values. And I'm going to get into some examples of how we actually do this, because the way we look at values, it's really what somebody else thinks it's worth. A lot of people go by payments these days, so it depends on what you're going to do with it. If you're a wholesaler, you're going to do exactly what you're talking about, Nicole. You're going to go there. I don't really like to use Zillow, although I use it a lot. I like it for what it is because it's readily available. Um, The thing is, I remember a few years ago, I looked up all my properties just for fun one time, and I said, you know what? If they gave me 50% of everything they said it was, I'd cash out on all of them right now. Of course, they wouldn't do that. But then some of them are worth more, some of them are worth less. So that's really something that's subjective, and that's a great point, Nicole, because you're going about it the right way by getting in there and looking at the way it's actually done. If you really want to look at cash prices, that's what it is. You see what others have sold for. If you're doing like owner financing or something a little bit differently, then there's a whole different way to look at values. And we're going to get into a lot of that. I'm going to spend the afternoon on that on the June the 5th. We're going to spend a lot of time on that just to kind of show you how I do it. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Even with appraisers, I know when I was a mortgage broker, you could, depending on what you were doing, if it was a sales price, and you probably noticed this, they almost always go somewhere fairly close to the sales price. There'll be some adjustments. If it's a refinance, that's another whole ball game too. We could get, they'll go by pretty much the zip code too. And I mean, there's a lot of other things to go to it, but we'll get into the weeds a little bit more on that coming up here too. We are going to start doing a deal clinic though coming up too, that we're going to have in the near future. I've got some stuff I put together on there because everybody does them differently, and it's just good to see what other people do. Like I said, there's no right or wrong way to do it, but it's really good to see how everybody does it, at least in my opinion. So we are going to get more into that, Nicole.
Okay, that sounds good because what I've been finding is that the price is severely inflated by the person that's sending me the deal, and it's like when I go and dig in, I'm like I'm gonna need you not to waste my time. You know what I mean? Like there's ways to find out if this is, you know, viable, if this is a good deal. Like you're sending me things that you think I'm not going to do my due diligence about, and that's a problem. So, okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, that's a good point too, Nicole. Always do your due diligence. Don't take anybody's word for anything. I mean, we used to say trust but verify, but then verify and verify again, even before it's
Mhm.
done. There was a guy that taught a wholesale class I went to, I don't know, maybe 20 years ago, and he was in Detroit and he was doing a deal. And right before he was going to the title company that day with his cashier's check, he stopped by to look at the property, and it was gone. The city had demolished it because of back violations and stuff, and it was so far gone. He was getting such a great deal on that property, though. So, and that was his point that even the day of it, you just never know. So that's I don't think you can do too much due diligence. I mean, there's still unknown factors that come up all the time, and even the people that are selling it to you. Plus, it just depends on what you're doing with it, Nicole. Whether you're going to if you're going to wholesale the deal off to somebody else, or you're going to keep it for a buy and hold. It just depends on what you're going to do with it too. So that makes a difference on what the actual property might be worth to you.
Nicole, can you put your phone number, your information in the chat for me, and maybe we can work together on something.
That sounds great. Definitely. I've been thinking about you, Christy. That sounds good.
Okay, there you go. Let's do it.
Let's go.
And then, yeah, John, and you got
Okay.
majority of deals wholesalers send out are way overpriced. I totally agree with that. I think a lot of them are way overpriced, but most things are negotiable and you got to start somewhere, So, if you
Mhm.
usually, I know that a lot of the wholesalers, if they sell it too quickly, they know they didn't price it high enough, is what they say. I don't know, maybe not. If it sits there more than 10 days or 2 weeks, it probably is priced too high. So, always
Hey,
keep.
John. Hey, John, I was just going to say, yeah, they have their numbers, but you got to come up with your own, regardless of what their numbers are, and just make your own offer. Um, don't worry about what their numbers are. Make sure it makes sense to you.
Exactly, John. And that's where it comes in, knowing your neighborhoods and knowing the area. So, yeah, that's very good.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hmm. Very good point. So, thank you, John. Appreciate it. And thank you, Nicole. Thank you. All right. Well, anybody else have anything today? We've gone a couple minutes over. Appreciate everybody coming in today. A lot of good conversations, like always.
I would like to thank you, John, for inviting me. This is my first Zoom. Um, and I just wanted to say that, John, when I brought you and Laura water at Life Surge, it reminded me of stories in the Bible, and things that the word says. It says, to help all people, because you never know when you're helping an angel. And I feel like, John, you and your wife, Laura, were angels. So, because the Lord is trying to tell me, like, He's trying to provide abundance for me and my family and my children. And
Yes.
I have two properties. I own my home, my personal home now. I just bought my personal home, but then also I own my business, a commercial building, and I have a spa. And I came from a homeless state as a single mom. I came from living in a campground, and that was like 17 years ago. But I just wanted to say that um, the Lord has blessed me and has shown me and given me the strength to, fight those giants. And because I have used those blessings to bless others, I mean, even just as simple as water, bringing you and your wife water that day and made that connection. And, it was like that woman at the well that just gave Jesus a drink, and she had no idea who she was giving a drink of water to. And
Yes.
so the
Oh my
Lord has
God.
led me to
Oh
you
Oh,
God.
guys, because I can only do, as a spa owner, I can only do so many massages a day before I'm capped out and I'm tired. And the enemy wants me tired. He wants me tired, and he doesn't want me to create generational wealth for my children. So I I wasn't there for Life Surge. I was there to meet you and Laura. So thank you.
Aw.
Thank you for being this lifeline for me, because I'm excited to learn. It's all very, very intimidating when you're first getting into this, because there's just a lot of language and stuff, and I know I shared that with you, John. But when you have a God-given uh, like duty and a God-given dream, it's not meant for you to walk it alone,
Yeah, that's
because
your
it's
purpose. It's your
yes,
purpose.
it's not meant for me to understand it, because God can give that supernatural knowledge upon you. And I mean, there's people who even can speak a full language within less than a year, not know the language at all. But if God calls you to do something,
come on.
then you will just know it. You'll know the language out of nowhere. And
Amen.
so I feel like this is the answer. And I feel like I am to own properties not only in my area or America, but I am to own them in other countries as well. And I'm supposed to create this um, create pretty much schools. So then women, again, this is all big, but see, God gave me this, and I'm not supposed to do it by myself. So this is just dipping my toes into that water, because I'm supposed to be creating schools for women in other countries to know trade, and to be able to learn to own their own businesses, so then they can provide for their children. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited to finally know exactly where I'm to go after owning my spa and coming out of that homelessness myself 17 years ago. Now I'm ready to push forward. And yeah, you guys were the very start of that. So thank you. I had no idea who I was bringing bottled water to that day.
Well, you're
Amen. My
very kind,
God.
Kayla, and I'm so glad you
Wow,
showed
that's
up here.
amazing.
Oh,
Thank you.
Oh my God, that was so
I
amazing.
love it. Yes, 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 yes. This is so awesome. I concur. I concur. I concur. I love you, John and Laura. And you know what? I
Me
just told
too.
someone last week, or was it? Yeah, early this week. I will never quit on me. And I thank you guys for never quitting on yourselves and in turn, never quitting on us. You never know who's coming, who's returning or what God is doing. And I truly thank God for you all so, so much. Like, I'm thankful. I feel like I've been thrown a lifeline as well. Thank you. And thank everybody that inputs and shares. Thank you.
Me
Thank you. I
too,
love you guys.
John.
Wow.
Yes.
Me too, John and Laura, because this
I love
I'm
you
just
too.
saying this is nothing but the Lord because I have
Amen.
been a part of another community and everything, and I haven't gotten the learning that I needed. I
Yes.
jumped into flipping a
Mm-hmm,
property
mm-hmm,
and I learned along the way. And I understand that does happen. But
mm-hmm,
by the grace of God, even when the deal
mm-hmm,
might not have been the best in the beginning, he brought me through and I
mm-hmm,
profited. So and then I found out about you guys. And it was
mm-hmm,
so funny because the first couple of times that I tried to log on, I must have did it at the wrong time. And so I thought that maybe, the group wasn't active. And then just
mm-hmm.
one day, I think the Holy Spirit was like, you need to log on
See?
and check. And you guys were on. And that was that was kind of like, okay, here we are. And I have learned so much in such a short time. It's just like amazing. So thank you guys. I love you guys.
Well, very kind. We thank you very much. And yeah, we're all in this together, though. It's not that we're
Period.
any different than anybody else here, but we just like to share stuff. That's why we're here. We appreciate you all because we want
Mhm.
this is what we do. I don't know. We're just glad to
Yeah.
have everybody. We appreciate it. Very, very
Keep
kind words.
nurturing. Keep nurturing us.
Well,
Thank you.
well, wow. What a great note to, I hate to end it, but we are a little past the hour and I know we got
Right.
things and we want to be respectful of everybody's time. So, but thank you
Hmm.
very much for tuning in. I'll get the replay up on YouTube as soon as I can. A lot of good stuff coming up. If you need anything from me, just let me know. Otherwise, we will be here real soon and we'll have some other events coming up too. I got a lot of things we're working on. We got some really good
Yeah,
stuff coming up. So we look forward to seeing you all soon. Thank you again.
absolutely. Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Save
absolutely.
me, save
Thank
me
you
a seat.
guys.
Save me a seat in Jackson. Okay, John? Save me a seat next to you in Jackson. I'll be
We'll
there.
do that. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
down
me
fairly close to
too.
there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Thanks again.
Bye.
Okay, thank
Bye bye.
you.
All
I'll
right.
be in touch, Nicole.
Sounds
Okay.
good. Bye.
Okay.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.